Governor Calvo only submitted his budget-cutting bill last Tuesday, a day after the current session began. And no bill, says Vice Speaker Cruz, especially one of this magnitude, gets voted on without a hearing.
I really should hope that none of you and the governor didn't think that just because he sent it to us on Tuesday, we were going to put it in on Thursday and pass it the following Tuesday. We would all be killed.
The governor telegraphed what would be in his budget-cutting bill back on July 25th with the release of the Budget-Cutting Task Force report. Guam lawmakers have been under heavy pressure ever since from the various interest groups that would be affected. Retirees, firemen, teachers, and all of them, says Cruz, must be heard from first.
We need to get the retirement fund to come in and talk about how that's going to affect them and have the retirees speak about it. We'll probably have a separate hearing just for the firemen to come and talk about the implications that it has on their lives and their benefits. As I understand it on Facebook, the teachers are up in arms about the thought of losing their personal time. I'd like to have an evening session hearing where the teachers come in and talk about how this is going to affect them.
In his bill, the governor wants $43 million in cuts. Lawmakers tomorrow expected to pass a budget that imposes only $14 million in cuts.
It's sufficient to meet the needs today, and it includes everything that the governor wanted for the operation of the executive branch. The appropriations that we gave each one of the departments was the amount of money that they're actually spending. The budget that we gave the governor is virtually his budget sent back to him with a few amendments.
I can see where the cuts are going to be made. I just don't see where the savings are going to be made. And I think we need to get those numbers quantified.
Senator Ben Pangilinan doesn't buy the argument that more cuts are needed, not even as a result of last week's federal court decision, which is expected to mandate payment of all tax refunds within 6 months after the April 15th deadline next year.
I can't see how the governor is now saying, my God, we got to do more because we can't set aside $100 million on the budget. That's your budget. When you sent it down, you had and said you were going to set aside $100 million. How can you not afford to set aside $100 million when we even reduce the expenditures further?
For Senator Cruz, the way out is not to cut the budget, but to collect what is owed to GovGuam.
There's no need for tax increase, and there's no need for cuts if we would just collect and become better at using the money that we have.
Kevin Kerrigan, PNC News.